What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about Sundial Growers, ticker symbol SNDL, and how they have a very substantial catalyst coming up after hours. So we're going to go over everything that you need to keep a lookout for in this report, including the EPS and revenue numbers. So before we get into all of that information, if you guys enjoy the information I provide for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I am trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. And if you guys would like to earn 2 free stocks with Webull, which is the brokerage that you guys see on screen in all of my videos, all you have to do is click on that link in my description or in the pinned comment, sign up for an account, deposit $100, and you guys get to earn 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850. So at the current time that I am recording this video, it is after hours, and the after hours trading period has closed, and Sundial Growers closed on this day down about 7%. So they had some great news yesterday, which we're also going to cover in this video, a strategic partnership, which in my opinion is very bullish for the long term, but they were not able to continue these gains. We're seeing a lot of fear in the market right now since Jerome Powell is supposed to speak, and we are going to see an interest rate decision. So let's briefly cover this partnership before we get into covering exactly what we are expecting to happen in Sundial Growers earnings. So coming over here, we see that Sundial and SAF Group announced strategic capital partnership. So we see that that the joint venture will leverage a strategic financial and operational partnership to generate asymmetrically enhanced risk return opportunities in the cannabis industry to provide exposure to a portfolio of attractive debt, equity, and hybrid investments. The joint venture will focus on cannabis-related verticals, seeking both Canadian and, here's the important part, international opportunities and investments. The joint venture's first mandate is the formation of a special opportunities fund with commitments from third-party limited partners, alongside an initial commitment from Sundial of $100 million. The joint venture expects to pursue additional potential mandates, including a Canadian SPAC and other investments. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with the SPAC when it comes out and who this SPAC wants to take public. This could give Sundial a boost in valuation, but we're just going to have to wait and see on this. But that is something that we need to keep a lookout for in the conference call. I'm really hoping that we see a lot of talk about this new strategic partnership. But this isn't the first time that we've seen Sundial Growers engage in activities like this. If we come over here, strategic investment in edibles adds value to Sundial Growers. Coming down a little bit further in this article, we can see that Sundial Growers announced a $22 million investment into Indiva. So you may not be familiar with Indiva. It can be surmised that the company's name is a mixture of cannabis, strange indica, and sativa. But there's more to the company than a clever name. Before you invest in Sundial, you'll definitely want to check out the Indiva website. So essentially what this investment was is that Sundial Growers was investing into Indiva to get their arm into the edibles category. This was a very smart move, and we are definitely going to see some discussion about this investment in the earnings call. So let's get into all of the different things that we need to keep a lookout for in Sundial Growers earnings report after hours. So coming over here, we can see that the first item on the list is going to be cash. So Sundial is sitting on a lot of money right now. It reported 610 million Canadian dollars in unrestricted cash after the closing of its most recent offering in early February. And that is enough to buy some attractive cannabis companies today, which is why I've been speculating that it's possible for Sundial Growers to be involved in an acquisition in the near future. They have said that they are open to an acquisition, but they haven't found any attractive companies to fully acquire yet. So although Sundial is burning through lots of money, it doesn't need all that cash to keep the lights on. Over the previous 3 quarters, the company burned through a combined 45.3 million Canadian dollars to fund its day-to-day operating activities, nowhere near its current stockpile. So they've been piling cash either to make sure that they have enough operating capital in order to last a couple of years, or they're looking for an acquisition. So investors will want to keep a close eye on the statement of cash flow this quarter to see if the company has spent much of the money it's raised, and if so, where have they spent it? The second item on our list is going to be cost per gram. So this is going to have to deal with around Sundial Growers' actual margins on their products. So when Sundial reported its third quarter earnings on November 11th, 2020, its dry bulk cost per gram sold was about $1.18 in Canadian dollars for the period ending September 30th, 2020. That was a decrease of about 12% from the previous period. The company is trying to get its cost down even further, targeting a cash cost per gram of 69 cents in Canadian currency. That would be a significant accomplishment and go a long way in not only improving its cash burn, but also strengthening the bottom line, which is negative $71.4 million in the last quarter. So if they are able to decrease this cost per gram, their margins are going to increase. They're going to be able to bring in more revenue, and we could see Sundial get into profitability range over the next couple of quarters or even years if it takes a little bit more time. The next item on our list is going to be these impairment charges. Cannabis investors are no doubt familiar with impairment charges popping up on a company financial statements, given the write-downs that plague the industry. And although they are non-cash items, they can still be a sign of problems within a business. So the next item is going to be SG&A. In quarter three, Sundial made progress in bringing down its selling, general, and administrative expenses. That's where SG&A comes from. General and admin costs of $7.2 million were down 42.3% from the prior year period, while sales and marketing costs of $1.1 million were 45.7% lower than a year ago. Now, the sales and marketing costs, depending on the yield that they are able to return on the actual sales and marketing, and depending on their marketing plan, a higher sales and marketing cost is not always a bad thing for a company. So the company has reduced its workforce and paid close attention to its spending to help bring its expenses down. Now, that's not always a great sign. It's usually bullish to see that a company is going to be expanding their workforce because they need more employees in order to get more things done at the company and expand. So this decrease in the workforce could be taken in a bullish or bearish way. This would be another key area for investors to watch to see if Sundial can continue to make progress in lowering its SG&A cost. In my opinion, some of these costs are warranted, and higher costs in these areas aren't going to be the worst thing in the world. So SG&A isn't going to be the most important thing, in my opinion, in Sundial's earnings report. It'll be more important to see this actual cost per gram because I think this is going to have more of a direct effect on Sundial Growers' revenue and their margins. Next is net revenue. This one's pretty self-explanatory, but one of the most disappointing numbers that Sundial had in quarter three was its top line. In a growth industry, investors don't want to see sales falling, but that's what happened last quarter. Now, that could have been due to the pandemic or a variety of other reasons. Now, here is what I think is going to be one of the most important aspects of Sundial Growers' earnings report and conference call: mergers and acquisitions. So we've seen a couple of times over the past month or two where Sundial Growers has engaged in either investments into companies or pairing up with another company to actually pursue acquiring other companies in the long term. As we said earlier, Sundial Growers has a lot of cash on its balance sheet, and it's going to be very interesting to see where they plan on deploying all of this capital because, as we've seen, they don't need a lot of it for their everyday operating expenses. So going back over to the chart of Sundial Growers, we are going to see a lot of volatility in the market over the next couple of days due to the Fed meeting. Now, if the Fed comes out and says some pretty bearish things about the overall market and economy, which I don't think is going to happen, in my opinion, Jerome Powell is going to come out and say, we're reopening, this is a great sign, our economy is recovering, and we're going to keep our inflation target where it is right now, and we aren't going to consider raising interest rates. That's what I think is going to come of this, but there's going to be a lot of reactions going on, and we could see a lot of volatility. So depending on what happens, we may not see some clear water for Sundial Growers to go into earnings with, so we could see some significant decrease in the share price or even a significant increase. Now, for a long-term Sundial Growers investor, this earnings is going to be important for the short term, but if you are bullish on the cannabis market as a whole over the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years, I don't think that this earnings report or even this next 2 to 3 months is really going to bother you at all. If you see any dip in these companies that you like, it is always smart to buy them up if you have extra cash that you have allocated to buy these dips. So that is going to be it for this update on Sundial growers. If you guys enjoyed the information I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video and you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I am trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. And if you guys would like to earn 2 free stocks with Webull, which is the brokerage that you guys see on my screen in every single one of my videos, make sure you go down and click on that link in my description or in the pinned comment, and all you have to do is set up a brokerage account, deposit over $100, and you get two free stocks valued up to $1,850. So that is going to be it for this update. I hope you guys are having a really profitable day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.